Yo, what's going on, and welcome back to some Genshin Impact. And today we are going to be talking about one of the things that you should be doing every single week. It's fairly simple, it's fairly quick, but you should make sure you do it. And that is the Stormterror boss fight. It's a good way to get some great rewards. You can even, once you get to a high enough level, you can even get 5-star artifacts, which is going to be really useful. And if they roll correctly, you can make use of them immediately, or if they don't, then maybe they'll be useful for a character you get later on. Now, when you're doing these boss fights, you're going to look at them, you're going to be able to do it once a week, and it's going to cost you 60 resin. Now, you're going to want to do the hardest one that you can, and the boss fight's not that difficult, even if you are doing this hardest one. Now, I'm probably going to do the second one here just because I have a challenge to do it and I've already done the hardest one. So, but the thing that you want to make sure you do is you want to make sure you're the highest adventure rank you can get to in increments of 5. So I'm currently 35, so that means I've unlocked this version here, number 3. And you want to do the hardest one that you can because it's going to have higher rates for better stuff. Now, you also probably want to wait for Sunday to do these, because if you look at one of these other domains that you might be farming, like pretty much the stuff you're using your resin for is either domains or these boss fights or the regular world bosses. But on Sunday, you can see the domains just have like a grab bag of things. They have all kinds of stuff, so you can't really assure that you get the one you want. Like if you want teachings of Ballad and you go in here, you're probably going to get 1 freedom, like 1 resistance, and maybe 2 teachings of Ballad or something. I'm not sure how many they give. But if it was the day for the teachings of Ballad, instead you'd just be getting like 4 teachings of Ballad, which would be way more useful for you other than getting all of these. So on Sundays, you want to farm something that's going to more directly help you. Now, you could always do these bosses, but what I would recommend is that you do, first of all, Stormterror, and second of all, the Wolf. And we're going to talk about that one next time. But for now, we're going to do Stormterror, and I'll go ahead and show you the fight real quick. We're going to do a slightly easier version of it, but again, it's not that difficult because once you get to adventure rank 35, your characters get to level 70, but it's only a recommended thing of level 60. So you're already stronger than what you're going to need to do the activity. As you can see, I've already collected it, but I need to do it for a separate challenge. And having a healer is kind of useful, but most of the fight you can pretty much just not take any damage from. We'll see once he actually spawns in here. I'm kind of curious, because in the story, you could just shoot him, but it doesn't appear to lower his little like shield he has under his health bar. Now, what I like to do during the fight is grab these in the corner and then just kind of sit in the air for a while he spams his attacks. And then when he drops down, obviously you want to start hitting him to break his shield. So we're going to grab these again. So he jumps down, and when he does that, he's going to start shooting a laser beam, and it's going to start over on that other side because we baited it over there. So then we just run to the far claw, start hitting the claw, and now you're going to climb up his neck, and this is where you're just going to use all of your abilities, try and do as much damage as quickly as possible. This is where your DPS auto attacker comes in. Once you've set out like any ability that can do damage over time, you just bring out your auto attacker, and you can see we've already done most of his health. When I did the level 60 version, I did about 1/3 of his health every single time. So here's the reason I like to be in the air, because it's really easy to dodge those comets as they come in. But your goal is pretty much to do at least 1/3 of his health every single time you have a chance to deal damage. Now, when this happens here, the ground is going to start hurting you on all of these cracked platforms. So you want to go over to the corners, preferably stay in the air so you can dodge attacks like that, and you just keep going over to the corners and flying until you find one that's not cracked. Usually it's like two pillars away. And once you find one, you just do the same thing all over again. Once we find where we can actually hover, we'll hover so we don't get hit by his attacks. If he shoots comets at us, you just want to make sure you move because the comets go to your original location. That one actually hit us, but I don't think it's going to matter. Oh, I guess it does do sufficient damage. So there, I believe he's going to start shooting his flame off to the left side because that's where we were when he started. So we can start getting the hits in. On the right, we'll break his shield again, and then this should be the end of the fight here. It's fairly simple. It might take you more phases when you do one that's more level appropriate, but other than that, it's not going to be that difficult. And once you finish the fight, this plant will be here for you. Obviously, I can't do it, but it's going to cost you 60 resin. And if you're at least, I think at level 30, you can already start getting 5-star artifacts. But at level 35, you're going to have a higher rate and continuing on like that. So yeah, just a quick one here. One of the weekly things you're going to want to do is Stormterror, and I would recommend doing it on Sunday because you're going to miss out on the least amount of other things that you could be doing instead by doing it on Sunday, because a lot of the domains aren't going to provide as much value. So that's going to be it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully you found it useful, and I will see you next time.